Hi everyone, welcome to Rachel Pichler Yoga. My name is Rachel. Today we're doing a yoga for flexibility practice that's going to stretch out our joints, so our wrists, our knees, our ankles, all of our joints. So find a little bit of space to move. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and let's get started. All right, you guys, we're going to start by stretching our wrists and forearms. So I'm going to give you two options today. You can sit down for this and bring your palm forward and just simply use your other hand to encourage your fingers down towards the floor. So this is option one. It's going to be a little nicer than option two. So I'll let you know when to switch sides. So you can sit and just use your other hand to kind of control the amount of pressure that you're putting onto your wrists. But if you want a little bit more here, you want a deeper stretch, come onto your hands and knees, and then you can start by turning your fingers out to the edges of your mat and maybe even towards your knees. So you can do one hand at a time for this one as well, or you can do both. So wherever you want to be, I want you to set it up now, whether you're sitting and doing one hand, whether you're on your knees doing one hand, or both. Just take a moment, find that awesome forearm and wrist stretch, and then just start to relax your shoulders. If you're sitting, I want you to try and stay with a nice long spine though. So you got to put a little effort into your posture. And if you're on your hands and knees, you can kind of let your head be heavy and relax a little bit more. Using your body weight. Put a little love into those palms. Nice job, you guys. Okay, if you are doing one hand, I want you to switch. If you're doing both, you can stay or you can take a break. But set it up. Take a few breaths. Relax. Nice, Ricky, guys. All right, let's slowly start to let that go. So if you are on your knees, just take all that weight out of your wrists. Do a couple wrist circles. Everybody, we're going to do this the opposite stretch now. So if you're sitting, the top of your hand is going to face the front now, and the same thing, you're just going to encourage your fingers down towards your mat. If you want to be on your hands and knees again for a little extra, you can bring the top of your hand down, fingers pointing towards your knees likely. One hand, both hands. Take a moment, just bending that wrist, stretching that wrist the opposite way. If you're doing one hand, you can start to switch sides. You won't hold this one as long. Nice job, you guys. Okay, so everyone take a seat for a second. Again, add a little wrist massage, wrist circles, whatever you think you need. And then we're going to come onto our knees. So if you aren't already on your knees, come onto your knees. And we're going to start to bring our feet out wider. So our knees are going to be nice and close together, but our feet are going to come out to the edges of the mat-ish. And then you're just going to start to bring your hips in between your heels. If you've got a pillow or block that you could quickly grab and sit on it, I didn't think to tell you guys to grab anything. Silly me. But we just want to start to bring the hips towards the heels, but in between the heels. So you might be lifted. You could take a lot of weight into the hands and the arms if you don't have anything to sit on. Or you might find that your hips, your glutes rest nice between your heels. So this is a really awesome stretch for the knees, but just only go as far as you need to feel something. So you don't want to take it all the way down and lay on your back. If you're feeling the knees already up here, you can just stay here. Only here for a few moments though, you guys. You can find your forearms. You can lay all the way onto your back. Maybe let your head fall back. You might even feel some love through the top of your feet and ankles, even into your hips. Nice job, you guys. So wherever you're at, we're going to start to come back out of this. I want you to bring your hands forwards to the floor. Lift those hips. Move nice and slow if you really felt that one. Maybe take your hips for a little rock side to side. If you want to come into a downward facing dog, you can come into a downward facing dog. Nice job. So if you did lift your knees into a down dog, start to bring them back down. We're going to do one more here. We're going to keep our knees together and our feet together this time, sitting back onto the heels, and this time stretching the top of the ankles and the feet. So see if you can bring your hands behind you to lean the upper body back, and then we want to try and lift either one knee at a time or both knees. Some people might be able to balance, keep the knees lifted, no weight in the hands. This one's pretty tricky to do, so you can definitely keep your hands behind you. I find the more you lean back, the higher you lift the knees, the more you feel this one. Let's take one more inhale. And then lower your knees slowly as you exhale. Bring some weight into the hands. Shake out the ankles a little bit here. And then start to tuck your toes under. Don't forget about the pinky toe. And once again, just bending those ankles, stretching those ankles the opposite direction. So you can sit on the heels. You can lean back a little more. Also stretching the toes here. Nice job, you guys. I won't stay for just another breath in. And exhale, bring your hands back to the floor, shake out those ankles, tap those toes, whatever you need. And then we're just going to cross our ankles and have a seat. So bringing the soles of your feet together, knees out nice and wide. Take a big inhale. Sit tall, lengthen your spine, and as you exhale, option to tip forwards. Butterfly, nice hip stretch. Nicely done, you guys. Using an inhale if you're folding to sit nice and tall again. And then bringing your knees back together. Give yourself a little hug, a little rock side to side. We're just going to cross our ankles, come onto our knees again, and set up child's pose. So child's pose is also good for the knees. It's good for the hips, good for a lot of things. I want you to start by bringing your knees out wide, sending your hips back towards your heels. Your big toes can stay together, but if you want more into your hips, start to separate your feet. They can come as wide as the edges of your mat, but I still want you sending your hips back towards your heels. So you might want to reach out with your arms here, just using a little love from those fingertips to encourage the hips back and create some length through your spine. And as you rest your forehead down, start to soften your shoulders. And just take a second to notice. What do you feel through your legs? All the way from your toes, up your shins, knees, into the quads, into the hips, the glutes. How does your low back feel? Going up the spine, into the shoulders and chest. All the way through the arms to your fingertips. Is your nose pushing into your mat as your forehead rested? I want you to try to keep your eyes closed. And we're going to slowly lift the forehead up. So keep your eyes closed. Lift your forehead. Start to lift your chest and walk your hands towards you. To lift the chest even more, keep your eyes closed if you can. Start to lift the hips up from the heels. Adjust your hands so that you can end up in a tabletop position. Sliding the knees in as well. Hopefully your eyes are still closed. Notice all that love that you're feeling through the hips. And then maybe keep your eyes closed, but start to cross your ankles and have a seat. Can you keep your eyes closed? As you bring your hands together in front of your heart and take an inhale and sit nice and tall. Exhale. Awesome practice, you guys. You can start to open up your eyes now if you'd like. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for joining me. It was short, sweet. And until next time, you guys, namaste.